Grayson Chrisley struggles after courtroom hearing. Savannah Chrisley recently revealed how much her brother, Grayson Chrisley, has struggled after being in the courtroom. Their parents are currently in prison, and it has been hard on the whole family. Savannah has taken custody of her two younger siblings and tries to be the best guardian she can be. It seems Grayson could be struggling more than anyone thought. Keep reading to find out more. Savannah Chrisley takes custody. Savannah Chrisley had to gain custody over her two younger siblings, Chloe and Grayson. Their parents were sent to prison for fraud and tax evasion. Todd Chrisley has to serve more time than Julie Chrisley, but not by much. This was a hard time for everyone, and they are still battling it every day. Grayson just went to his senior prom and posted on Instagram. Savannah commented, "She has been doing her best to keep everyone together." Grayson Chrisley struggles after courtroom. Grayson Chrisley struggled after being in the courtroom. It seems that Grayson has struggled ever since being in the courtroom for his parents' appeal hearing. It would be hard on any child to be in the same courtroom as their parents and not get to take them home. However, with the case being so public, it has made it hard for the family to show emotion about it. The gavel's echo still reverberated in Grayson Chrisley's ears as he exited the courtroom. The sterile air of the courthouse felt stifling, clinging to his skin like an unwelcome reminder of the proceedings he just endured. Dressed in a tailored navy suit that hung awkwardly on his lanky frame, Grayson looked more like a kid playing dress-up than the confident young man his family had always encouraged him to be. The weight of the day bore down on him, threatening to crush the composure he had so carefully tried to maintain. Outside, the sun was blinding, its brilliance a stark contrast to the shadows clouding his mind. Reporters swarmed, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of invasive questions and flashing cameras. "Grayson, how do you feel about the verdict? Do you blame your parents for the situation you're in? What's next for the Chrisley family?" Grayson kept his head down, his jaw clenched tightly as he walked briskly past them. He'd learned from his father, Todd, that silence was often the best shield against the media's prying eyes. But inside, the questions rattled him. How did he feel? Did he blame anyone? And what was next for the Chrisleys? These were questions he couldn't answer, not yet. Back at the family's temporary residence, a modest rental far removed from the grandeur they once called home, Grayson finally let his shoulders slump. The house was quiet, almost unnervingly so. Savannah had gone straight to her room after the hearing, and Nanny Faye was outside, tending to a small garden she planted to bring a touch of her old life to their new reality. Grayson lingered in the hallway, staring at the framed photo of their family that Savannah had insisted on bringing. It was taken years ago, during one of their reality show's holiday specials. Everyone looked happy, carefree, and perfect. But the truth behind the smiles was far more complicated. "I wish we could go back," he muttered under his breath. "You and me both, kiddo," came a voice from the doorway. Savannah stood there, her makeup smudged, her eyes rimmed red. Grayson turned to face her, his expression softening. "Savannah, do you think this will ever get better?" She sighed, walking over to sit on the edge of the couch. "I don't know, Gray. I really don't. But I do know that we're tougher than people give us credit for. We've been through hell, and we're still standing." "Are we?" He shot back, his voice tinged with bitterness. "Because it doesn't feel like it. It feels like everything's falling apart, and there's nothing we can do to stop it." Savannah reached out, pulling him into a hug. "You don't have to have all the answers right now. None of us do. But we've got each other, and that's a start." As night fell, Grayson retreated to his room, seeking solace in the one place where he could escape the chaos. His walls were bare, stripped of the posters and memorabilia that once reflected his love for baseball and aspirations of going pro. Those dreams felt distant now, overshadowed by the weight of his family's public scandal. He opened his laptop and scrolled through social media, a habit he knew he should break but couldn't resist. The comments were relentless. Some people offered support, but others were cruel, mocking his family's downfall and questioning his own character. Guess being rich and famous doesn't make you immune to karma. Feel sorry for the kids, but they're probably just as shady as their parents. He slammed the laptop shut, his heart pounding. It wasn't fair. None of this was his fault, yet he felt like he was paying the price for decisions he hadn't made. The next morning, Grayson woke to the smell of pancakes wafting through the house. He wandered into the kitchen to find Nanny Faye at the stove, humming a tune from her youth. "Morning, sugar," she greeted, her smile warm and reassuring. "I figured we could all use a little comfort food today." Grayson smiled faintly, pulling up a chair at the table. "Thanks, Nanny." As she flipped a pancake onto his plate, she sat down across from him, her gaze piercing yet gentle. "You've got a lot on your mind, don't you?" He nodded, unsure of how to put his feelings into words. "You know," she began, "life's gonna throw you curveballs. Lord knows I've had my share. But it's not about dodging them. It's about learning how to hit 'em out of the park." Grayson chuckled despite himself. "Is everything a baseball metaphor with you?" "Only when it works," she teased, patting his hand. "You're stronger than you think, Grayson, and you're not alone in this. We'll get through it, one way or another." Later that day, Grayson decided to channel his emotions into something productive. He reached out to his old baseball coach and asked if he could come by the field. When he arrived, the familiar sight of the diamond brought a sense of peace he hadn't felt in months. "Glad to see you, Grayson," the coach said, clapping him on the back. "You ready to get back out there?" Grayson hesitated before nodding. "Yeah, I think I am." As he stepped onto the field, gripping the bat tightly, he felt a flicker of hope. Life wasn't perfect, and it might never be, but for the first time in a long while, he felt like he was reclaiming a piece of himself. With the crack of the bat meeting the ball, Grayson realized that while the struggles might not disappear, he could face them head-on, just like every pitch that came his way. And maybe, just maybe, he'd find his way back to home plate. After a tense courtroom hearing, Grayson Chrisley is grappling with the emotional aftermath. The young Chrisley has been thrust into the spotlight as his family's legal battles intensify, and it's clear that the pressure is weighing heavily on him. Grayson, known for his sense of humor and charm on Asterisk, Chrisley Knows Best Asterisk, has found himself facing a different reality in the wake of recent events. The courtroom drama involving his parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, has taken a toll on the teen, who is caught between the love for his family and the legal fallout from their convictions. In the aftermath of the hearing, Grayson is struggling with the harsh glare of the media, the uncertainty about his family's future, and the growing responsibility of being a public figure in the midst of turmoil. The pressure to maintain a composed appearance is evident, but behind closed doors, Grayson is quietly processing the emotional toll of the situation. Family members, including his sister Savannah, have rallied around him, offering support as he navigates this difficult period. However, it's clear that Grayson is yearning for some sense of normalcy amidst the chaos, wishing to find a balance between standing by his parents and handling the overwhelming scrutiny from the public eye. As Grayson works through his feelings, it remains to be seen how this ongoing legal drama will affect his future and his relationship with his parents. The Chrisley family, known for their tight-knit bond, will undoubtedly continue to lean on each other as they face the challenges ahead.